You are listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin.
What is going down? What is going down? It is your boy Studio MacGyver, and you are listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin. Welcome to the show, guys. If you're new to the podcast, welcome. If you're into anime, nerd culture, and most importantly, video games, you come to the right place because we talk about all of that shit here. And today's episode is episode number 347. 347. Yeah, this is going to be a short one, guys. And I really mean that this episode because I have the flu. I've been sick for the last few days now. And I still wanted to get something out for you guys, man. Now my daughter, my 3-year-old, she's sick. So it finally hit her, poor baby. Now she's in there. She's been in bed all day. And if you know kids, that is not like them. They run around and they destroy shit. So for her to be laid up like that, and it's just you hate to see it, but she's there. I would be in bed right now if I wasn't sitting in front of this microphone, but that's just what it is. Didn't get a lot of shit done this week, but I did lay up and watch a shit ton of anime. I binged 2 separate anime. I finally finished Attack on Titan, got that done, and I also finished Jujutsu Kaisen, got that done. And I was about to watch the first episode of Solo Leveling, but I didn't get a chance to do it. And I want to see what all the fuss is about, man. Everybody's talking about this anime like it's like the second coming of whatever, one of the greatest animes ever made or something. So I definitely want to check it out. But that came out, I want to say, a few days ago or something like that. But yeah, so I'll definitely take a look at that one and get back with you guys on that. I tend to like to let my anime stack up. That's why I didn't watch Jujutsu Kaisen. I wanted to wait for the whole season. And I'm so glad that I did because I would be sick. There were so many different parts in that show and that season 2 where I was like, man, imagine if the episode ended like this and I had to wait another week for that. Like, I hate that. So I take it, you know what I'm saying? Take my hit first, and then I, will heal, and I will be able to, it'll pay off if I just wait and let everything kind of finish and then watch it like that. That's like what I want to do. It's the hard thing to do sometimes, but it's what I prefer to do, especially if it's something that you really, really want to watch. And Jujutsu Kaisen was one of those. When I first saw the first season, I kind of fell in love with that. Also, when I saw the movie Jujutsu Kaisen 0, how awesome that movie was. That whole universe is pretty dope. There's a lot of shit going on. So much so that after watching season 2, I went to YouTube and, followed a couple of these YouTubers, these fine gentlemen who specialize in breaking down manga and pretty much, deving out the story that way. So this one a YouTuber, I forgot his fucking name, and I'm sorry, I should know his name, but he's got like an 8-hour video covering the whole, I guess, all of Jujutsu Kaisen. Now, I'm not big into manga. I don't read a lot of manga, not even a little bit. Every blue moon, I'll check something out, but this manga supposedly is, I guess, over, I want to say, or most of it is done. So that's the cool thing about manga, that most manga, they're like way ahead of the anime. So us anime guys, when we watch shit, you know, the story a lot of the time has already been told. So it's just like, you know what I mean? And most of us don't think to even try to look into it any further. But I'm going to start doing that, because there are a couple of anime that came out and they just ended abruptly. And, you know, if you're in the anime scene, you know how crazy that shit can become. I mean, how how the animators are treated. A lot of these animators are treated like trash, and they're overworked and underpaid, and all these things take into account. You have to take those things into account when a lot of these animes come up missing, and you're like, what happened? It's because wasn't enough money, and a lot of these other things went down, you know, and a lot of them are really good too. That's the pain in the ass part. It's like, yo, a lot of these were very good. Okay, Chivalry of a Failed Knight was extremely good. One of my favorites. I don't know why I love Chivalry of a Failed Knight so much, but it was one of those animes that season 1 was fire. And I actually went out and bought the physical DVD of that first season. And then the way it ended, you know, you could have let it go, but there's more to it. There's a whole nother half to that story, but it's only in manga form. So I have to try to hunt down the manga or find a YouTuber who can break it down for me. And I haven't had any luck doing that, because it's not a very popular one compared to some of these other ones, you know, these household names that we talk about. But I'm going to still continue to try to search, and maybe I'll find one. I'm sure somebody out there has done it. But yeah, man, these YouTubers out here, they're putting in the work and they're breaking down the manga. So if you get attached to a certain anime, you want to know more about the story, you want to know how it ends, you can go that route. And as an anime fan, personally, that's not going to deter me from watching anime when it does come back around, because to be honest, it only emphasizes the love and the thrill of being able to watch it in animation form when it does become available. And I think I looked into it, Jujutsu Kaisen season 3. I don't think we're going to get that until 2025. So you see what I'm saying? This is January now. So a whole year at least before we even see all of this stuff animated, right? Now they've already begun production on that already, but yeah, I'll get to the anime watch list in a minute and kind of talk a little bit more about it. And you might have to excuse me because I may be coughing throughout the show, guys. I'll edit most of it as best as I can. But as I'm speaking to you now, I mean, I feel like I have to cough and I'm just holding it down. So it was only a matter of time before I was going to get sick again. And I'm kind of glad that it took this long for me to actually get this sick. So I just had some medicine, some Theraflu. I drank it because I knew I was going to record. And, you know, that's going to work on me for a couple hours. I'll feel okay. And then after that flu will start to kick in again. And then my body will start hurting again, aching. And then I'll have to lay down or whatever. So I'm trying to get this done now so I can get this to you guys real quick. And I just didn't want to leave you guys hanging out there. But yeah. But anyway, I want to start by talking about the completionist, as I think I started by talking about him last week as well. And I don't know, man, every time I try to stop talking about this fucker, it just, something else pops up or whatever. So apparently this is just an update, but apparently this guy now has started trying to test the waters. Okay. I think he's figured that, hey, I've got a lot of the butter wiped away. I mean, there's still butter visible. You can see some butter. If you lift up the shirt, there's butter up under there. There's butter, in certain cracks and crevices. But I guess he figured that enough butter was wiped away and he should maybe try to see if he could stream and, do a video or two and just see how the audience kind of takes it in. And if I had to give you a number, I think the number was somewhere around 5,000 likes, 12,000 dislikes, somewhere around there. And so that kind of let him know that, yes, it's not quite there yet. And then he did start with a video at the beginning saying that, he knows he kind of hurt everybody's trust in him and how he's going to he knows it's not going to happen overnight and it's going to take time, but he hopes that he can, win everybody's respect back and admiration and all those things back. And then apparently in his stream, he was holding his dog and kind of just almost, it seemed like he was using it as a cover to kind of extract some sort of sympathy from a lot of the watchers who were watching that. And most of the smart fans caught on and they understood what was going on. And they were like, yeah, whatever. Okay. We see what you're doing. Most of them. Okay. Now, no matter what we say or no matter what we do or how we feel about this guy or anybody else who's a douchebag out here, they're going to have their fans. Okay. You're not going to be able to stop everyone from liking them or supporting them. That's just how it is. Okay. There's a fucker out there right now who is probably killed, dozens of people and who probably gets a lot of mail from certain individuals, in jail. Okay. That's just what it is. And there's no way that we'll be able to remedy that completely. That's just how it works. So just to see the disparity though in those numbers, that 5,000 likes to 12,000 dislikes is still saying that, yo, this dude is if he's gonna stay in this field, he's going to, he's got some ways to go. Now I've heard he's recently lost about between 40 and 45,000 subscribers on his channel, which is with his numbers not necessarily going to affect him that bad. Even though 40,000 is a lot, I would kill just to have 4,000 right now on my dinky YouTube channel. But it is what it is. And as I'm speaking about YouTube channels, all of my listeners, if you're not subscribed to Random Gameplay Pimpin, the YouTube channel, let's go ahead and make that happen. I'm trying to grow the channel and I'm going to keep, bringing this up because, it's kind of like a new baby of mine, kind of like this podcast when it first, came to existence and I'm trying to treat it as such. And like I said, I'm giving out content daily. So there's pretty much content every day on this channel. So definitely support the channel. Going to be doing some other stuff this year with the channel and I'll keep you guys posted. Okay. But anyway, yeah, the completionist is he's a character. So I'm just going to sit back, going to eat the popcorn. Definitely going to make sure that I have plenty of fucking butter on my popcorn and I'm going to see what happens, man. I'm going to see what happens, where this goes. And, if everybody's going to just forget about all the shit that he's done or what, because he's still got his channel. As long as he's still got that, he's still going to be able to make money off of that. Because like I said before, he still has supporters and he still has people who actually believe that, hey, he's sincere in his apologies. And maybe he is. I can't read anyone's minds, but I'm just saying on paper, if I'm a judge and I'm reading what happened on paper, I'm looking at it like, well, you have deceived people because you literally put out videos saying that you have already donated money, which you have not. And then when everything started hitting the fan, you proceeded to dump all the money. And that right there is just a bad look. So could you be sorry that you got caught? Sure, you could. A lot of people are sorry and only sorry because they get caught. But does that necessarily mean, oh, well, he's just a dickhead and he isn't sincere in his apology? No, that doesn't mean that either. I'm being as unbiased as I possibly can when it comes to this type of thing. Same thing with games. I try to be as unbiased as I can be. If I see a truth in something, I try to state the facts, the simple facts. People say, well, are you a fanboy are you Sony pony? Are you this or that? Sony is my favorite console. Okay. I mean, do I call myself a Sony pony? No, I just call myself somebody who loves all video games and just tends to have a favorite. Everybody has favorites of all kinds of things. Okay. Favorite characters, favorite games, whatever. And Sony is just my favorite platform. If you have multiple games and you play multiple platforms, I'm quite sure you're going to say, well, I have one that I like more than the other. Right. It's very rare that you may have somebody say, well, I like them all the same. And that could be true as well too. But me personally, no. But all I'm saying is, if I see something good in Nintendo, I'm going to say it. If I see something bad in Nintendo, I'm going to say it. Same thing with Sony and whatnot or whatever. Just because Sony is my numero uno does not mean that they have not dropped the ball. They have not spilled warm butter in areas. That's not true at all. So that's what I'm saying to that. And I try to be that way in all aspects of how I'm looking at shit, but it is what it is. But I'll get rid of the completionist. He's done, but we'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys posted, of course. I fucking will. But anyway, moving on. Let's talk about Naruto a little bit, man, because while we're in anime, and I've got a lot of anime going on here in this episode, if you guys have forgotten, which I know I have, there's so much stuff going on, man. A lot of things are going to slip between the cracks. And one of the things that did end up slipping was the fact that Naruto, we were supposed to be getting 4 new episodes, brand new episodes from Naruto, not Boruto, Naruto. Okay, 4 episode special. We were supposed to get this, and we were supposed to get it back in fucking September 2023. All right. And then they kind of just went ghost on us. And now I'm like, yo, how did this happen? Where are the episodes at? And apparently right now they're kind of lagging behind right now because they're working on a lot of different things. Of course, the Boruto series they're working on, and then there's some other things that they're working on as well. Another anime I can't put my finger on it right now, but they're working on some stuff. And right now I guess they didn't have time to finish or let us know what's going on with that, because we still haven't got anything from them as of late to what's going on with those 4 episodes that we're supposed to be getting. So I'll keep you guys posted when we get more news on that, but I'm definitely looking forward to those eventually, and I want to see those. But that's the news right there on that. I thought you guys may want to know about that if you are into that series. Next thing, let's talk about a new video game that is going to be based off the Hunter x Hunter series. And that blew my mind. Okay. A lot of these anime games, they just fucking, they come out of the wazoo. They come out of nowhere. And this is one of those games that I'm surprised I didn't see this one coming, especially somebody like me who is a fan of these arena anime fighters. Okay. I'm a sucker for them. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily buy them day one, but I always end up going back, circling around and picking those up, from My Hero Academia to the Naruto series to even Attack on Titan, which that game is amazing, by the way, still to this day. So all these games, dope, excellent. Demon Slayer, I have all of them, right? And they're fun to me, and I'm an anime fan, so to be able to have them in game form as well is also cool, you know? So this one is another one, and it's called Hunter x Hunter Nen, Nen, Impact. All right. And it's supposed to be coming out this year. I don't know when this year, but I just know this year is supposed to be that time. So looking forward to that, seeing what that's going to be about, see what that's going to entail. The graphics look pretty dope. Now there are some trailers, and in those trailers, you don't necessarily get to see any fighting, but you kind of get to see the direction that they kind of want to go in. So I'm sure they'll divulge more information as time progresses and give us some more of that. But until then, that's all I got. But it's definitely something cool, especially for a lot of those Hunter x Hunter fans, and that I know will make a lot of people happy. Moving on to that, let's get on with this anime watch list. And you guys already know what I watched. I told you earlier, but I finished Attack on Titan the final season or whatever. I watched season 5, aka OVA, if you want to call it that. So basically it's really not a season 5. It's really just an OVA episode, which is usually just 1 episode, maybe 2 episodes, and it kind of wraps up a lot of some questions that a lot of fans may have had in the series or whatever. But this one here just kind of gave us some backstory on some of the other characters. One in particular, one of my favorite characters in the show was Levi, which was he was the captain of the squad. And, you know, it basically told how he became the captain. You know, how he was recruited into the army or whatever. You know, he had that gear that they use when they fly around and shit. He had gear. And a couple of his friends had it as well. But the thing is, they weren't trained. They trained themselves on that shit, and they were pretty good from, you know, somebody who didn't have proper training with it. And it's more in that, I'm not going to spoil it because there's some friends out there that was like, yo, I haven't watched it yet. No spoilers. So I'm going to assume that a lot of you guys haven't gotten around to it. And I just got around to it. You know, the final season's been out for a little while now. So I don't want to spoil that for you guys. But also, all I'm going to say is the fucking show was crazy. Okay. The final season, I loved it. Everything from the music, everything from just the whole thing. I mean, Attack on Titan is definitely up there. You have to solidify Attack on Titan as one of the best, in my opinion, man. In my opinion, you just have to. It told a great story, and the theme of the story is even more important, in my opinion. And it deals with just war is kind of like the catalyst for the conversation and what it really means. Because in essence, man, they're really just trying to say who's really right, who's really wrong. There's really no right or wrong in war. Okay. There's always going to be 2 sides of the coin, right? There's always going to be one side that feels they're right because they were wrong, and then the other side the same way because if you flip the coin, it's the same thing. It's just happening to the other side. That's it. And that's basically what they were trying to convey. I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but all I want to say is a lot of casualties were involved. Of course, when you're dealing with something as epic as this, it was worth every fucking minute. It definitely was. And I finally got a chance to sit down because I had no choice. I was sick and just keep the TV on and not watching spurts, you know. It's been a while since I was able to just sit back and watch a show and know that, hey, I have nowhere to go. I can't go anywhere really now. So I'm just going to lay here, take medicine and watch this shit pan out. And it was beautiful. It made me excited again. Whenever you get a good anime and you're loving what you're seeing and you know you've got all these episodes ahead of you, it's very exciting. It's kind of soothing and pleasing in a way that I can't describe. But just knowing that, okay, let me settle in here. What? This happened? What? I can't believe her. And then, okay, I can't wait to see what he's going to do. And, you know, you wait for the next episode to roll around and then you get taken to all these different places and they jerk you around and they send you here and send you there. And you're like, why? What's going on here? And then when you finally get that moment of, oh shit, and everything kind of just makes sense. All of those type of things. That's the beauty of anime to me. And that's why I love it so much. Everybody has their own mediums. You know, some people love their movies and plays even, or books too as well, you know. But I consume most of my media, believe it or not, in anime form. I mean, I've been doing it like that for some years now. So yes, I watch movies and other things too. But if you're looking at, you know, the percentage wise of what's being watched more than the other, it's always going to be, usually it's anime over that. Now, YouTube plays a big part in that as well. There's a lot of YouTube being consumed, but yeah, that's pretty much on my palette right there. But all I'm gonna say is, if you have not seen Attack on Titan, go see it. If you're waiting on season 4, you don't need to wait anymore. It's finito. It's finished. Definitely watch it. I feel really jealous of the people who haven't even watched Attack on Titan for what they're about to experience. It's awesome. That's all I can say. I don't know what else I can say without spoiling it, but even though I'm sick and I had the flu and I still technically have it, you know, it's the best part. I mean, I got a chance to finish this, and leading in, segue into the next anime, I got to finish Jujutsu Kaisen season 2. When I say casualties were fucking born in this one, oh my goodness, they were fucking born. Okay. And I'm not going to mention any deaths or anything like that, because I don't know who's still waiting to finish it or whatever, but I'm just going to tell you, it is a tragedy. That is kind of what I love about a lot of these anime. Don't pull back. Don't pull your punches. Give it to us raw. Pause. Put it out there, man. You know what I'm saying? Tell your story, right? And sometimes these things have to happen for the story to be told in the way it is needed to be, the way it's meant to be told. And I can segue all the way back to The Last of Us Part 2. And I always think of it like that, because I remember when that game came out and everybody was split. And there were a lot of people who were really pissed about the ending or about the deaths of certain characters, right? And they hated when Joel died or whatever. And I hated when Joel died too, but to me, I thought it was beautifully written because he died. You know, I think that was part of the risk that they wanted to take. And you can't please everybody. It just showed you can't please everybody. And it just wasn't going to happen. It just wasn't. And I was cool with that. And that's how I feel about, you know, a lot of these good anime where, you know, you have deaths and you have a lot of characters that you kind of grow accustomed to seeing, and they become some of your favorites. And then you find out that these guys aren't going to make it. They don't hold anything back. I mean, the tragedy is just straight up. It's real. It's in your face, sometimes even sudden. And I'm speaking about Attack on Titan, and I'm speaking about Jujutsu Kaisen. I mean, it was just some of these deaths, man. And there was a couple of characters that I really, you know, of course, Gojo is my guy, but there's a couple other characters I really fuck with there. But like I said, I'm not going to mention them because it would be giving it away. But all I'm going to say is you definitely want to check that out. Because right now, currently on YouTube, I actually have Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm kind of going through the whole series, I guess. And I'm like 5 hours in. So after I watched that, I've been watching this guy, this YouTuber, wrap up the entire series. Okay. And I started watching like right after season 2. You know, I wanted to know what happened next because the way that it ended, goddamn, you know. So we're not even going to have the season 3 until 2025. So it's like, man, I can't wait that long for that. I at least want to know about the story. I think I did the same thing with a couple of other anime. I can't think of the names right now, but I remember doing that. I want to say I did it with Hell's Paradise. I want to say that one, which was an awesome one as well. I just think that these creators, man, are just, their imaginations are second to none. I mean, these guys, the stories that they write, and even just to build a world that way and to have so many different characters with so many different abilities and how they work. And basically you have to dial up problems, and then you have to dial up solutions to those problems if you're going to create some sort of yin and yang, good versus evil type of thing in your stories. These are things that have to be calculated properly. If you knew what went into all this, it's fucking daunting as hell. It is, because when you find out about some of these characters, like, yo, how the fuck did he, or how the fuck did she? It's mind blowing. That's all I'll say. It gets very intricate. It's very deep. And I pay homage to all of these guys out here in Japan and whoever else is writing stories like this, man. You know, to keep you on your toes and just to keep you guessing, and just the beauty of it all, man. The last thing I'll say, and I'll leave it at this before I bow gracefully, guys, on this very, very short podcast, is I watched 18 minutes of gameplay for Dragon's Dogma. Okay, if you didn't know, there's an 18-minute trailer out, and you can kind of watch it on IGN. They're playing different classes, I think 3 or 4 different classes, right, of characters or whatever. And I don't know if I remember telling you guys, but that game comes out March 22nd. That game comes out the same day as another game that is a Sony exclusive comes out, and that is Rise of the Ronin. That's from Tecmo. I'm starting to realize that I want to play Rise of the Ronin a little bit more than I thought I did. And it's going to be a hard decision for me, because I'm not buying them both day one, because I'm not going to be able to play them both day one. And these are the type of games that are open world and story driven experiences. So when you immerse yourself in one of these, I know me personally, there's some people who can probably do that. They can engulf themselves in one, and then just as fast take themselves out and then do it to another game. I can't do that. I don't like to do that. I'll say that. Anybody can probably do it, but I don't like to do that. So it's going to be one or the other. And I'm torn, because I love Japan and I love the history and all of that. And this is one of those titles, right? I love Ghost of Tsushima. It was something like that. And I think that's why I'm starting to lean towards Rise of the Ronin again. Time will tell. Okay. Am I going to play them both? Of course. But am I going to play them both day one? Fuck no. And I'll definitely let you guys know as I get closer, because the same way we got that 18-minute trailer for Dragon's Dogma, we'll probably get something similar for Rise of the Ronin. And I'm just, so far what I've seen, it looks fucking amazing, guys. It looks amazing. If you know about Tecmo and what they've done, especially in recent years, they've done a lot of dope shit. A lot. So looking forward to this one. And don't be surprised if I tell you guys, I picked up Rise of the Ronin first. Okay, don't be surprised if you hear that from me. But anyway, I'm going to leave you guys with that. I want to thank everybody for downloading, streaming, listening to this episode. And I want to apologize also for me being sick and making this a short one, because I didn't have a chance to do too much. I didn't have a chance to, usually when I do a podcast, I kind of prep for the show. I take notes and I kind of figure out what I want to talk about and all that. And I just didn't have a chance to do a lot of that because I was sitting in bed and just, feeling like shit. So still feeling like shit, but I wanted to give you guys something, and give you guys an episode. So, with that being said, please support me and all my other endeavors. Okay. Check me out on Twitter. I don't call it X, but at Studio MacGyver, you can check me out there. Also check me out on Instagram. I'm trying to post a little bit more, and I'll be working on that as well. And also check me out on, of course, TikTok and YouTube at Random Gameplay Pimpin. So yeah, I have 30 subscribers on YouTube. All right. 30 subscribers. And I think I have like 75 on TikTok. So my TikTok is growing almost twice as fast. But I figure it's going to take, 3 or 4 months before I start to get before I start to build some momentum for YouTube or whatever. But I'm putting out stuff daily, and, the algorithm is testy. It's tricky. You're going to get content daily. I'm exploring new, types of content, new ways to put stuff out, this year. So be looking out for that as well. A lot of shorts and a lot of, long content, but long content is going to be a little bit more intricate. I want to have certain things I want to talk about, history of certain games and stuff that I grew up playing, and just, some of these type of videos. So be looking out for all of that as well. And definitely keep your eyes open for the butter analogies, because they're coming. They're not going to stop. I found some new ones that I've created and I'm working on, and they'll be in future videos too. So with all that being said, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I love you guys dearly. Thank you so much for being a part of this family. And I'll see you guys next week. We do this every Monday, same bat time, same bat channel. It's your boy, Studio MacGyver, and you have been listening to Random Gameplay Pimpin'. See you next time.